recording. So let's firstly create a HTML file, just HTML. So plenty, just empty HTML, and the title like a jQuery, and in the body of it, let's just make something here like a h1 hello, and make a paragraph under it, lorem, right? And make another paragraph, another lorem. See how it looks like. Open in browser. So it's just a title and two paragraphs. In order to use jQuery, we need to import the jQuery. Like it's a JavaScript file, so we're just going to looking online like jQuery CDN. So we can import jQuery from its website. It's like this is a website. We just go here. It's all those are the different versions of jQuery. We can just use in the latest version. I can choose the minified one, and just copy the script here, and put that into our header. Right? It's like same thing like the Bootstrap. You can just put the script into your header to use it. I want to import this library, import this script code from this online source, like similar to like a Bootstrap or Font Awesome. Like this is the same thing. Also, if you want to use the jQuery in your Angular project, you just put that into your index, index HTML, right? Just put this source here. So with this script, like it's will have those jQuery functions for you, so we can create another script, our own JavaScript file, and we can use those jQuery functions inside it. So let's do it. Source is equal to jQuery test.js. Let's create a file called jQuery test.js. New file. Save that file. jQuery test.js. Right. This is our JavaScript file. So we have HTML file and a JavaScript file. So let's firstly, sorry. Excuse me. So let's firstly talk about how can we communicate with our HTML code in the jQuery file. Let's first try if they're connected. Here let's create console.log.
So you did jQuery.js, right?
Yeah. It's just the name of the file. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure that the name is matches with this script name here, source here. Console hello from JavaScript file. Let's see if they're connected. Save this, and let's go back to our page. F12. Let's reload to the page. Okay, I get the hello from JS. That means they are connected, right? The file is connected with our HTML. Like those two files are connected. So before without the JS, like if we want to do something with this, like with the first with the paragraph or with h1 here, we are going to use a query selector, right? Like how do I use query selector? I just lost. Query selector. Let's just document the query selector. So without JS, we can use document query selector, and we can select all the h1 here and do something like changes the CSS and like the color into right, background color. Is that a correct syntax? Why it's just not giving any? It's just color. Right. background color. It's not giving me any blue. Let's try that. Unexpected token. How do you spell background color here? I forget. Just a color first. Let's try it. It's only one. Cannot properly CSS of null. Actually, totally forget how to do a query selector. Let's see. Let's select ID. Let's select the class. How do I just select the tag name? First, select tag name. Yeah, just the P. Why it's not working? Oh, is that style or the CSS? I forget. Style, color, right? Is that how you do it? I actually forget. Missing a parenthesis. I'm lost. Hold on. Style, yeah, style the background color, style the something. Oh yeah, that's the syntax of it. Style. Select H1, the style, the color is equal to red. That should work, right? Come on, it's still not working. Style of null. I have H1 here, right? Let me check my code. That is H1. Yeah. Just copy this one. That definitely should work. Document the query selector H, not H2, H3. Just select H1. The style background color equal to red. Let's try it again. Still not working. What's wrong with this? Oh, I see. Remember, like, because we put our JavaScript file in the header, like it's loading the JavaScript file before the body, so it cannot find this H1 for me. Like we usually put our JavaScript file at the end of the file, right? To make it load later for it. So let's put it on the end. It's gonna work. Cause it put at end of the body. Yeah, that was the issue. I just forget it. Okay, see the background become red, and we can change the color. Instead of background color, I can change the color. Let's copy it again. Okay, and create a variable for that. Variable h1 is equal to document square select h1. Right? I can just say h1 dot style is equal to h1 dot style dot color is equal to like blue. This is gonna work. Yeah. So this is how we select the item without jQuery, and with the jQuery we can do the same thing. So let me open the file again. This is let me comment this out. So how do we do it with jQuery? It's just the jQuery just mentioned. You just use jQuery, just jQuery dot not dot, just parentheses, and so just choose the thing like you should select h1, just h1, and you just change it to the CSS. And here you can just do the CSS syntax here, like color is equal to not yellow, blue, right? Like you can just with just this one, and it will work. See the color become blue. This is the jQuery syntax. You just need to, if you want to select the paragraph, just jQuery just parentheses and the paragraph, And we can change the CSS of it. We change the background color. Background color. What colors I can choose? Like a yellow. There should be a bracket here, I think. Yellow is not defined. Yellow should be in string. Yep, that's how you select the item in your HTML file in your DOM, and do some function to it, and we can hide it. See, like we can jQuery the not the parentheses, select the paragraph, the hide. And it's just going to be hidden, right? Like without this one, we're usually using the style dash style what? Style the like a h1. Let's comment this back. H1 the style the show or something. I forget. Oh, display, right? I remember that. Display equals to none, like syntax. We use the display equal to none to hide it. With jQuery, we can just using the hide or the show to hide or show it. Okay, this is before we're having the jQuery, it's really like a conflict. We have to do it with CSS, right? And right now, like we can just using the jQuery functions. jQuery p.hide equals p.show. And this is the way you select this is the way you select a tag name, like select all the paragraph, and or we can select something with ID or with the class, right? Like we have two paragraphs here. Like we can give a class here, class equal to p1, and this one has a class equals to p2. And we can use jQuery to select a different class, like a query selector. So instead of saying jQuery p hide here, we are going to make it like a jQuery select the ID. So it's ID the class is dot p1 the color, actually not color, the CSS, and the color is equal to red, right? It's the second one. You only need one here. So it's going to change the first paragraph, the color into red. Doesn't change anything about the second one because we selected the class of equals to p1. Only this paragraph has class equal to p1. This one has class equal to p2, right? And we can do like we can hide something like jQuery the not dot, just parentheses p2 the hide, right? We can hide it. Did I save the file? Oh, not p2. It's dot p2, since with the class equal to p2. So the p2 is disappeared. Only one paragraph is left here. And we can also get the value, get the inner HTML of it. For example, here we have the p1 here, right? We can see jQuery dot p1 the vol. That's going to be equal to this value. We can console log it. Console the log. The vol of it. It's going to give us the value of it. Actually not. Yeah, maybe vol is not getting the let's try something else. Let me see. I prepared some example here. Yeah, we can do append thing like a jQuery dot not dot parentheses, keep saying dot h1 dot html. We can use HTML to change the content of it. Like right now we have the hello here. We can change it to changing HTML. Right? Just refresh it. It's become change HTML. Like you can use HTML to change the content. Like all those things can be found on the jQuery's website. Like they have the just search for the jQuery. Like they have a document to like teach you how to do everything. Like they have I think the document in the document something like they mention every functions they have like to allows you to do different kind of stuff. Okay, if you're just interested in what you can do with jQuery, here are all the functions you can find. And we can do more things, like we can do the append. Says jQuery select h1 dot append. And we're ending something here, ending append from jQuery. So it will become change HTML and then append from jQuery, because append is just allows you to append some text to the previous HTML. Right, those are functions you can do with jQuery. And there's one thing that I need to I think is going to be really useful is like we can also append like some list to the or some actually HTML format stuff to our to our HTML code. We can say jQuery. I want to select all the whole body. I want to append. Instead of append some text, I want to append a tag there, like a UL on all the list, right? And I'll say have some list item inside it. Item 1. Let's copy this. Item 2. Okay, I can do that. Just refresh it. And it's right here. It's item 1, item 2 here. It's just the way jQuery the functions jQuery can provide to you. And jQuery also like think about some people are lazy, like to always type jQuery, and you can just use $sign to represent jQuery. Like $sign it is just a jQuery. Okay, if you just change this one to $sign, it does exactly the same thing as jQuery. You just change everything to $sign. It's just a shortcut for the jQuery. Right? Let's try that. You see, nothing is changing. It's still working. It's still working. $sign is just a shortcut for the jQuery. You can use a $sign to replace the jQuery. And we can with the jQuery we can move our script file to the top. It's still in the head. Like we can use initial use ify method to we can tell the jQuery, please load all the functions after the DOM is ready, after the HTML file is loaded. So what we need to do is in here we are going to have a function in the parentheses like jQuery. Like a function can copy initial it, and we're going to have put everything in our function initiate, and this function will be called after the DOM is ready. Like we introduced this how to do it without jQuery, and before have the function, jQuery can provide the same thing to us, like this $sign, and here we have a function called init, and this init function will be called once the DOM is ready. And here are those things I want to do with in the function initiate init. There's nothing gonna change. It's still gonna work. Like we already moved our script in the head, but it's not telling me any error anymore. Like it's still working. It's a ify cast, and yeah, we can just using jQuery select item to change the color, change the background color, things like that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Like, see how the background is white, like the main. How do you change that?
How do I change that? That's easy. Just select the whole body, right? You just select the body. So select the whole body and change the background color. CSS background color. So just we can change it to any color, like blue. Remove the comma. Refresh your page. You see? Yeah, just change the background color of the whole body. It's gonna change it for you.
You could do a background image, right?
Yeah, I can do background image. So I can do background image. Just background. I think I forget like what's the CSS for background image. But you can do the background image. CSS background image. Yeah, just copy this one, background image, put that in your code. Background image, and then just looking for image there, looking for image online, I think. Image, oops, sorry. Like this one, you used it many times. Open image in new tab. Copy image address. Let's put it here, see if that works. Right, let's try that. Where is my code? It's here. It's not working. I think it's using a different syntax, like on just a background. Nope. Background image. I'm not sure like how to use jQuery to change background image, but I can just search it. jQuery background image. It should be like that. That looks stupid. Let's try that. Yeah, it works. Yeah, yeah. Because the screen, the picture is too small, and then you can add some HTML, add some CSS code there to make it not repeated. Like just make it instead of repeated, you can use expand, things like that. It's just some CSS code. You can find them online. Yeah, that's basically how you communicate with a DOM. Just use the $sign and select either the tag, the class, or you can select by the ID. Remember, the ID is using the pound sign. Like I want to select the ID, just ID P1 or ID P2. This is how you select the ID. It's the same thing like the curly selector, but like we only have the curly selector in the latest version of JavaScript. Doesn't really have that before. We copy the idea from jQuery.
It's like a hybrid version of CSS.
It's just using the CSS syntax here, but with jQuery you can have some if here, like if the user click this button, then we change the CSS. If the user clicks that button, we'll do something like that. So it's a way help you to combine the CSS and the jQuery. Without CSS, you can still do that thing. Like without jQuery, you can still using curly selectors, like document the curly selector. Select the body and change the style, the background image. Right? It's the same thing, and we can add some conditions to it. Change background color, make it easier. I'm more familiar with the background color. Is that still working? Let's see. It's kind of flashing here. Let's comment this out. Okay. So we can add some if cases here. It's if we can have some buttons there. When the user clicks that button, then we change the background color, right? And else we'll do something like that. Like we can add an event listener here, right? We already introduced how to do an event listener in our previous project. Like We can create a button, and the user click that button, and then we'll do things like that. Let's show some. Actually, I want to show some faster examples here. Let's see. Yeah, let's change the stuff here. Let's make another example here. So I can have h1, jQuery, and we can have a div id equals to a container, and inside this container I can have h1 heading 1. I give it ID to it, heading 1. Then we can have a paragraph after it, and give an ID to it, carry 1. Then I can have another heading here, heading 2, and we are going to using a class is equal to heading 2, and another paragraph. And the class is equal to parallel 2. See how it looks like. Yep, and let's comment out those. Let's just delete those code I have here. So it's like kind of empty. I have jQuery heading 1, heading 2, and let's do some style to it. I can do things like I said, $, select all h1 dot hide. Let's go into hide all the headers I have here. Okay, and let's comment this out. We can do things like $, select h1 with ID equal to heading 1. Do hide here. And it's going to only hide the heading 1 for me. And I'll do the same thing. h1 with class equals to heading 2 dot hide. And it's going to hide in the heading 2 for me. Those are the way you communicate with DOM. And or you can just directly say, no matter what tag it is, I just want to hide anything with class equal to heading 2. I need to make it in quotation mark. I just want to hide everything. Where is heading 2? Right? Heading 2 is hidden. So, and we can also, instead of heading, we can do something like some span here. Let's create a span here. Like just copy some code here, and then we can use curly selector to. Let's first take a look of how it looks like. It looks like that. This is a paragraph, and this is a span, and we can do things like $, p span .css. Color red. It's not working. Save it. Yeah, maybe I think they changed the they changed the syntax. I have to have the bracket here, and use that one. It's not working. Did it change the syntax of it? Did I need a comma here?
It's not in the P. It's just a span.
Yeah, I need a comma here, like to separate this. I would select both P and the span. Change the color into red. Right? This is a span. This is a paragraph. I select both of them. Change the color to red. Right? And I can create a list here to play around with the list. Let's copy the list in HTML. In the container, I can put a list here. URL ID equal to list, and have some list item here. List item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll play around with that. Let's see how it looks like right now. List is right here. Okay, list is right here. Let's play around with it. So I can, let me comment this back, comment this out. You can see $sign. So I want to select the UL with ID equal to list. I want to also choose the LI inside it, and the first of it, I want to change the CSS color red. So how it looks like. So only change the first item here. I'm trying to select the first item in the list. So it's URL with ID equals to list, and inside it I'll choose LI, and inside the LI I only want the first one. And we can do it with also with the last one. For the last one, I want to change your color into green. It works, right? The first one is still red, and the last one is green. And we can also do for this, I want to change all the even ones. I want to change your background color into yellow. Right? The even ones? That's kind of like old ones. Oh yeah, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are even ones, right? And we can change the old ones. Let's copy that, put it here. Change this one to old. Change the background color into some hexy colors like CCCC. Yeah, it works, right? Those are the ways you use jQuery to do the similar thing like you did with the query selector. The query selector you can do so similar things like we introduced before. Like the video is still in our website. The video is still here, right? The video is still in the tutorial, also in our project. So it's using the query selector to do those things. Right now we can also use the jQuery to do the things like that. We can also do the list item, the nth child, and the 3n, and every third item I want to do that. Change the list style to none, and that means remove the dot here. Nth child also works, like the 2n, like every two, like I want to remove the dot sign. Like every one of it is n, let's remove the dot of it. The nth child. So just 4 here. Only remove the fourth item here, right? That's how you select the specific item in the list, right? And let's create something more here. Let's make a button here. Let's make a bunch of buttons. Have input, type button, type submit, type text. Next those things, value button 1, submit 1, text. Let's see how this looks like. So I have button 1, submit 1, and the empty text input here. So the difference between the first two are they have a different type, like the different value and different type. This one type is button, this one type is submit. And we can select the button, also select the submit with jQuery. So I can see $sign. I want to select the item with type equal to button. It's just a column button. I just want to hide it. It's hidden. Okay. Or I can select the type is equal to submit to hide it. Right? That's how you hide an item. With both of them are button, and they don't have a ID, don't have a class. If I want to select a specific one, I just select maybe the common button, column button, select the button item or the submit item. submit button to hide it. Right. Let's see what else we can do here. Oh yeah, I can select all items here. I can select like a $, star here, select all, hide everything for me. Everything is hiding, like it's empty. So like a $, or jQuery star is just select everything. All right. And we can also using the jQuery to handle those events there. So let's do an example here. So in here, let's create a. Let's comment these things out. Just actually delete them. Here in the div, let's create an input. No, I don't need those things. Input ID equals to A. Input ID equals to B. And let's create a button here. ID equals to add. And A and B. And let's put an input here. No, input ID equal to result. So it will looks like not working. Oh yeah, I hide everything, so it's not showing anything. Let me comment. Save. Let's take a look again. Yeah. So I have some input field like A, B, and B, and I want to do a simple calculator here to allows me to add those two numbers. Like I can put some numbers, I put them here, and add A and B, and show the numbers here. Just want to do a simple function in the with the jQuery to do that. So how can we do that? In the JavaScript file here, let's do those things. I should share the code I prepared in the GitHub later. So in the function here, I say let me add more things here to make it more interesting. Like I have a paragraph here, lorem, and ID equals to P1. So looks like that. Have a paragraph and a calculator here. So we can do functions like $, select the P1 and click. And when I click this button, when I click this paragraph, I want to now call a function like it's called P1 clicked. Right? I call this function. And then I can create that function under it. Like the function itself won't run until I call it function P1 clicked. What does this function do is to select the body and append something to it. Append a new paragraph. So like when I click the P1, it should call the P1 click function, and which is this one, and it's going to append a new paragraph to the body. Let's try that. Reload it. Click this paragraph. Say I'm coming a new paragraph. Click it again, another one. Click it again, another one. So we create a kind of like an event listener here. Like it is listening like every time we click it, it's going to do something for us. Right? The same thing like in Angular, we do the click and then it do something for us. Right? So remember, like we have this 4 items here, and this time I want to say when I click this button, and please do something for me. So just copy this one. Instead of P1, I want to change it to ID equals to and call the function and clicked. Let's create a function for and clicked. Function and clicked. So it will be trying to end in A and B, right? So we can select a variable A is equal to $sign, and select the ID equals to A, the value of it. Variable B is equal to $sign ID B and the value, getting its value of it. Then I want to set up a variable C is equal to A plus B, and setting up, select the result. Change your value into C. Right? Just getting A, getting B, and making A plus B equal to C, and change the result value equal to C. Let's try that. Your facial page. 12 plus 2, and then B, give me 122. So really it's because I didn't see the type of it's a number. It's still reading it as a string. Like when we try to do a AND to a string, it's just concatenate them. So let's parsing them into numbers. So in our code, I can say A is equal to the val, and then I'll just parse int of it. I want to update A and B here. Before we plus them together, I want to say A equal to parse int A. B is equal to parse int B. I'm changing the type of it from the string to a number, and then plus them together. Just 1, 2, 3, switch 1, and together it's 4, 4, 4, right? This is how you make event listener in the jQuery. Like you just select them and click here, and when you click it, it just run some functions. And then instead of click, we still have like other functions we can use. Like we have the change instead of click, we can say dot change. Like every time when I change something about it, it's just going to be run the function. And we have the focus, the hover, the key up, the key down. I actually have a list of them here. Have the change, have the click, we have the focus, we have the hover, we have the key down and the mouse down, and a lot of stuff like functions you can use. A lot of functions you can use when you trying to. They have a list in the jQuery. Those functions you can use. Like instead of change, I can use a hover here. So, the first page, I put 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 here. If I hover over this button, it just gives me a result. I didn't click it. Like I just hover over, it's giving me a result. Right? It is. And we can say when the ID A dot change, I want to call the function and clicked. Every time when I change A, it's want to run the same function. Okay. It's not working. Did I missing something? Oh, just use a key down here. I press something, it's just change it. No, it's still not working. I'm not sure. Supposed to work. Maybe I missed something and clicked. Refresh the page. Oh, I forget to refresh the page. See, every time I change the value, it's just change it. I forget to refresh the page. Like when you do Angular so much, you just always forget to refresh page because Angular refresh the page for you. Right? So those are the functions you can do with jQuery, like create an event listener. And we can I prepare some like a some projects we can do with a jQuery to like to put it into your GitHub. Let's empty that and empty this one. Let's make it want to do a project with a jQuery, like allows you to put in your GitHub. So it will be super easy. First, before we do that, I want to show you some more things. One more thing. So here, let's remove those functions. Only if they initialize. And in the body here, I just want to make a paragraph here. Not paragraph, just h1 here. And a list. So jQuery also have a smaller library like doing some really interesting things. It's called jQuery UI. It's right here. It's jQuery UI. This is also very interesting stuff. Like you can do some animation here about draggable, or like a resizable or selectable, things like that. Like those are the things you can do like in the jQuery, and they provide the code for you here, like how you're going to use this code. Selectable, sortable, and sort it. So in order to use the jQuery UI, you just need to include the CDN in your code, like a jQuery UI CDN. It's right here. You can just minified one. Just copy the script, put that in your file, and then it will give you some functions they already made for you, like to add some animation, like without making new functions. So here we have a h1 here, and we have a list here, right? And I can say $, select h1 for me, and make it draggable. Just draggable. That's it. Let's take a look of it. It's draggable. You see? It's really cool. And if you refresh page, it just comes to back to its own place. And we can do something for list. For the list, the sortable. So I can sort the item inside it. Right, it's cool, right? And we can do both draggable and sortable. Refresh it. I can sort it, and I can also drag the whole list. How do I drag it? Yes, drag the whole list to anywhere I want, and I can sort it. Just some animations you can do easily with jQuery, and they have those examples for you here. And those are things. Those are the things you can do with it, like some effect, some widgets, some interaction, or utility. All those things you can do with your code. And the most common ones are the draggable and sortable. Like allows you to drag, allows you to sort. Those are the jQuery functions there you can use. All right. So let's using those things to making a really simple. Really simple project. Like I want to make a to-do list here. A to-do list. Like it should be empty right now, right? It's totally empty. Nothing is in our code. I want to do a to-do list here. It should be really easy. So in the body, I'm going to have a OL here, order list, and ID is equal to to-dos. That's going to be my to-do list. And I have an input here. ID equals to title. And let's adding some break here, and a text area here. ID equals to description. Like every time when I enter some title and description, I want to put it into our to-do list. And let's create a button here. ID equals to add button. Just add. So take a look how it looks like right now. So I have a place for title, a place for the text area, and when I click add, I want to add the thing into my to-do list here. Right? So let's do that in our jQuery code here. So let's firstly select those stuff and then adding some things to it. Variable title is equal to $sign on select the ID equals to title, right? Variable description is equal to $sign and select the ID is equal to description. And the variable add button is equal to $sign, select the ID equal to button, add button. Variable to-dos is equal to $sign, ID is equal to to-dos. Right, those will have the variables corresponding to each ID of it. And every time when I click the add button to click, I want to call function called add button handler. Let's handle this click event. So let's create a function. It's called add button handler. When I click that button, I want to do something. So let's test if that's working. Console log. Just console log this thing. Add button handler. See if that if I click it, it's working. F12. F12. Come up. Okay. Refresh. And add button handler. It's give me this thing. That means when I click it, it's already bind to this function, right? And in this function, we can do some things. I can say variable new title is equal to title the value. Variable new description is equal to description the value. And I want to create a new note for that. So let's do it. Let's create a variable note is equal to $sign and select the OL inside it. Let's see how I can do it. So note, I can select the make AI append the new title. This one going to create a new title for me, and then this one will create a new title with the AI tag for me, and then we'll do to-dos append this note. See how it looks like. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and getting error. New title is not defined. Let me see. The title is right here. Why do you say it's not defined? Oh, it's typo here. Title, yeah. Title. Try it again. Refresh. 1, 2, 3, switch to 1, and say the first one is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. It's just keeping adding things for me. Right? I'm adding the title for it, and I can also append that with more stuff. Like I can make an li dot append a b here, and then append new title. See how it looks like. 1, 2, 3, and it's not really work. Sign what? Yeah, I can just make it like I can do a B here. I can do it this way. This should work. Plus new title, and or I can do it like in this way. $sign. Do append inside it. Append the B, then append li to it. That should work. Let's try it. See, it's capital A. It's a import, and then we can add another append after it. So variable note the append, another variable. It's already a variable. It's note the append. Let's append the description to it. Append the new disk. Append that. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, switch to 1, and see. And then let me add a space here. Put a space plus the new note description. 1, 2, 3, switch to 1. See, this is a title and then the description. Right? So that's a way you can just make it easy. Note this here, like go home at 3:30. Don't forget it. See, like that. You can do a really easy forget it here, and we can make it like a more, give it more functions to it. Like I can add a delete functions to it. After the description, I can add a button to allows you to delete it. So it will be note the append. Actually, let's create that one first. Create a variable. Span here is equal to a $sign. Span and x and span. And I want to append that to the note the append span. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, switch to 1, and say I have an X after it. It's adding a space after the description. 3, switch to 1, no, I have an X here. So X is going to be my button. I want to click it to allows me to delete stuff. Let's make it like a button. Instead of span, I want to make it button. Not working. Span is not defined. Yeah, just change it to button. Yeah, it's making a button here. Like you can still use Bootstrap to make it look better, right? You can still use Bootstrap on it. So all I need to do is adding adding a function to it, like with this button, I want to do a click to it on it. When I click it one, please call the function like delete note for me. And then I just create a function called delete note. Creating an event. Variable to do is equals to the $sign event the current target, the parent. No matter what I clicked, like I clicked the button and I want to select the whole li of it. This is how you do that. Just get the parent node of this button, and then I just remove it. To do the remove. To remove this item here. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 6, 1, add, and remove it. Like I can add a lot of them to remove it. And remove this one, remove this one, remove this one, remove this one. Yeah, that's just how you simply using a jQuery to do the to-do list for you, and you can just add Bootstrap to it to make it looks fancy, right? It's just make it add some class to it, like input file, input group, and make it a btn block, btn something like that to make it looks fancy. And I can also add a title to it. Right, this is just basically functions you need and to make a to-do list without saving the data. Right. Right, this is going to be our today's first project, and I have a more fancy one I want to show you. Let me grab it. Yeah, so this is our today's project I prepared for you. Like it will allows you to drag tools from the tools and put them into the canvas. And you can drag it again, do things like that. Like you can make some animations, some games with those functions. Those are the another jQuery project I prepared for you today. It's cool, right? So this is going to be the project we are going to do today. This is another project. So let's start. Let's create some new file for it. It isn't that hard to do that. Give me a second. Let me grab those things we need. All right. Let's create some new files for it. So let's just put them on the desktop. Okay. Let's close that one. So file, save it. Let's put it still in here like a tool. Let's call it tool.html. We need an HTML file, and we need a JavaScript file, tool.js. And I also want to include a CSS file to adding some customize to it. Okay, so I have tool HTML, tool JavaScript, and tool CSS. Let's start it. Let's first start from the HTML file here. HTML. The title of it is just drag and drop. Right? Like so in order to make it, we're going to need the jQuery and jQuery UI. All right, let's just copy it from the last file I have. Let's put it here. That's jQuery and jQuery UI. Okay, it's jQuery UI. You can just download it from the website. And we also need a Bootstrap. Also, I have the Bootstrap link here. That is a Bootstrap. All right. So this is Bootstrap. And those are the jQuery and the jQuery UI. And also I want to include my own CSS. So it will be a link link reference equal to tool.css, right? My CSS, my style. Okay, those are things we need for this file. Now let's create the structure for it first. Let's create the content that we need for this page. So we need to have a div, which is using the class is equal to container fluid. And inside it, we can have the title, drag and drop tools onto canvas. See how it looks like. Open in browser. And it looks like that. Okay. And we are going to have another div. It's a row class equal to row. And we're going to separate it into tools and canvas, right? Have two div, one on the left and another one on the right. So the one on the left, you have the class column equal to class is equal to column 3, and this one has the class is equal to column 9, separated into two. All right, and let's see. Let's give some h3 here. h3 201, h3 202, and h3 203. See how it looks like. I have 201, 202, and 203 here. And what I want to do is I have a right side. I have h2 here. It's saying canvas. Okay, those are the HTML code I have there. And right now I'm going to make it look colorful, right? So let's adding some CSS to it. Let's say here, let's adding some class. For the left side, I want to make it into a yellow color. So it's just a SW background page, and the rest color should be blue. So SW background blue. So in my CSS, I'm going to create those two classes. Dot SW background page, and this one background color is equal to SW background blue, and the background color is equal to 9ACFEA. Those class I prepared. Let's take a look. All right, it looks like that. And the next step I want to do is to make a tool. Like the tool should have the border of it. Let me add a border to those tools. So remember, those tools are the h3. So let's do something for the h3. h3 border 2 pixel solid 3. It looks like that. Not closed yet. Let's add something more and border the radius 5 pixel padding and some padding to each other to like separate them. Let's first see how it looks like right now. Okay, adding a corner of to every one of it, right? And I want to add some padding to it, like make it separated with each other and with the border. Padding 5 pixel. Okay, like this is what I want. I want now to be able to drag it from left to the right. Oh, and also let's see the background. See, this one is like a takes all the screen, but this one is only like the top side. I want to move that, like expand it to the whole screen. So let's adding some CSS to it. Like I have a CSS called SW height 100. Height equal to 100%. And I have another class called SW full screen. Position absolute. And just adding everything to 0. 0 from bottom, 0 from top, 0 from left, and 0 from right. Okay, make it like a full screen. So I want to use those classes in our HTML code. Okay. For the container, I want to use this SW full screen on it. And on the row, I want to make it height equal to 100. SW height 100. Let's see how it looks like. Okay, so it takes a whole screen. All right, that should be the all CSS and HTML we need. And I need to add some IDs for each items here. So I need to know like which button I'm clicking on. Just adding some IDs to each items here. So the left one, let's give a class called tools. Like there's a whole the left column. The right one, let's give it a class called canvas. And each one I'm add some class to it. This one is tool. Like all of them are tools. Like they are all tools. Class tool. Okay, that should be enough for me to be able to select them in the jQuery. Right? So let's go to the jQuery to start making it like a functional. To make it this one functional. The same thing as that one here. Oh, I think I used the wrong color, like a reverse way. Let's change it back. So this one, change this one to beige, change this one to blue. I used the wrong color. Okay, that looks exactly the same right now. Oh, I have a tools here. It's adding a tools title there. So I have a H2 here. Tools. All right. Okay. So right now it looks like exactly the same. The size is different because the screen is this one is 150, this one is 200, this is 150. Okay, it looks the same. The tools, yeah, I forget to capitalize the tools. Right, it should be same right now. Okay, maybe not. Just that's good enough. So let's go to the JavaScript file and start making it functional. So still I need init and a function init. Like when the page is ready, I want to do some things. Like firstly, I want to be able to drag the tools. So remember, like they have the class equal to tool. Like those tool 1, tool 2, and tool 3, they have the same class called tool. I want to make it draggable. And make the tool draggable. Let's take a look. Not working. Did I save the file? Save. Oh, it's cool. Not working. Let's see. Console log. Test not found. Link 8. Are you kidding me? Test.js. Oh, shouldn't be called test.js. It's called tool.js. Why do I call it test.js? It's tool.js. Yeah, it makes sense. Let's try it again. Okay, it's draggable, but like it's behind the cameras. It's because the the index of the canvas, because we change the canvas into absolute, so it's kind of like the index is not high enough to show there. So let's give some z index to the tools, make it like in front of the screen. So this is for all the tree, I want to change the index of it into 1. Anything higher than 0 should be fine. Okay. So this is right now it's draggable, but it's still not like what we want. Like we want to, instead of dragging the item itself, I want to drag a copy of it and put it here. Like this one is still on the left. I just want to drag a copy of you. So if you take a look of the jQuery UI here, like it's a part of the helper, like it can do it for us. Where I can find it? Draggable helper. Yeah, it's a kind of like a helper. We can, in the helper, we can tell him like if I want to drag the original stuff, I want to drag a clone of the stuff, or I can drag a copy of stuff, things like that. So what I want to do is drag, instead of dragging the item itself, I want to drag a copy of it. So it will be in the draggable. You can add a bracket here saying helper. I want to drag a clone of you. Right, let's take a look. Where is the file? It's here. So you can drag nothing. It's not working anymore. Did I break it? F12. Unexpected token. Yeah, I shouldn't have a semicolon there. Just remove that one. Let's try it again. See, I can drag a copy of it. See, it's kind of like it's make a 2 or make a number to a second line, and we can actually avoid that. It's adding a CSS here. So you can, all you need to do is say white space, no wrap. Don't wrap it for me. Just want to keep it like how it looks like. Okay, 201, 202, 203. It's able to drag the clone of it. And but see, we can still not, we cannot like put it on the canvas, because we add a helper to, after we add a helper to tell it to, I want to drag a clone of it, and we need to tell him like where is this item is droppable, like where I can drop this item. So we'll do it next right now. So in the JavaScript file, we in the initialize we'll say okay, I'll select the canvas, make it droppable. And droppable it takes some setup here, make it drop, and takes an event and a UI. Here it takes a function. I can just make it like a function, or I can just using the arrow syntax. Like I don't really need a name for it. Right, this is function. And when I drop, the dropable takes an event and a UI. And in the UI and the event, we basically it will provide us some informations of the drop. Like we can take a look of it. Console.log. Take a look of the UI. So let's try that. F12. I'll show you the what droppable can do for you. Like when you drag and drop it here, this is the UI we get. So in here we have a draggable, we have a helper, we have an offset, and we have a position. They're telling you where you are trying to drop it. Like we drop it in a different place, it's give a different position. And in the draggable, it tells me us like what were you trying to drag to me. Okay. So let's try it again. Let's drag one. Let's give us an object and tell me some information we need here in the UI. So what we need to do is to catch that position and catch the item we dragged and put that into the canvas. Okay, so let's say firstly I want to get the UI dot position. Let's refresh it, drag it to here. Here is the position. The position have two values. One is left, another one is top. It tells you like the distance from the left and distance from the top. Okay, that's the position from left and from the top. And we also can get the console.log UI draggable. So draggable inside the UI. Take a look of it. If I drag the to 1, and in here, like it's telling us, it's giving us an array, like maybe a list of stuff you dragged, and the first item is with the index 0, and it has some access key, a line, and child node, and the height of the item, the width, and like the in HTML of it. What we need is in HTML. Like I want to know like which item I'm dragged here. So I want to get the zeros item and get your inner HTML. This is a thing I'm interested in. So let's try it again. Drag it. Okay, this is 201. This is 202. 201 again, and 203. Let's tell me like the item I drag and the position I drag. Those are two things I need to record and make a clone on the screen, right? So let's create a variable for that. So let's comment out this to console log. Make a variable for that. Variable is a node that has a position is equal to UI.position, and its HTML is equal to UI the draggable 0 the inner HTML. Okay, then the node. Okay, let's console log this node. Let's refresh that. Unexpected token. So let's remove this token here as comma and remove this token here. Okay. Try to drag one. Invalid the shorthand property initializer. What does that mean? Let's try to drag one. 2JS line 13. Did I forget the? What does that mean? Variable node is equal to a node. Is equal to a object with a position equal to UI and HTML equal to UI the draggable 0 the in HTML. I don't see anything wrong with that. Oh, it should be equal. Is a comma. Okay, it's colon here. It's colon here. Position is UI and HTML is UI dot draggable. Yeah, it's correct. That's my bad. So drag that one. Create a node for us. And it has HTML equal to 201, position equal to 84, and 529. Okay, that's the item we want with HTML and the position we have. All right. Then what we need to do is to like to render this node onto our screen, onto our canvas. So let's create a function here. Like I'll call like a render of it. Render this node. So let's create the function. So here I have a new function called render. It will render a node for me. Let's console.log node, see if that's working. Let's comment this out. Unexpected identifier on line 19. Line 19. Yeah, it should be in the drop. After I drop it, I want to render it. Let's try it again. Drop. Okay, a render is console log me the HTML and positions. That means the two functions are connected. So, okay, right now I want to append this new node onto our canvas. So let's create a node for the item, a DOM item for it, and then we render it there. So firstly, a variable HTML is equal to a new. I want to create h3 here, plus node.html, and plus the close tag h3. All right. And that's going to be the HTML I want to put on the screen. And create a DOM for it. DOM, I want to select this HTML, change the CSS of it, and to make it a position into absolute. Absolute. Make the top of it is equal to node.position the top. Make a left of it is equal to node the position the left. Okay, and that's our item I want to append to the canvas. So next thing I want to do is just append it. Canvas the append. Append this DOM. It should be enough. Let's try it. See, yeah, we append it to the whole stuff here. Kind of like weird. Yeah, we'll append the DOM to it. But why it's not like absolute? It's supposed to be an absolute position, and right now it's not an absolute position. It's just directly append the item into the canvas. That's not what I want. Think about it. Let's console log it to take a look. Console.log DOM. It's a h3. Yeah, it looks like it's no big problem here. I don't know why it's not absolute. Not the position the top, not the position the left. Think about it. Why this one is working correctly? This one is not. see. I don't get what's wrong with this. Oh yeah, I see. Position is a typo there. So refresh it. Okay, right now it's like an absolute position, so it's not at the place we want. I think the reason is the position we use the left position. It's absolute, so it's relevant to the left screen or to the canvas. So like we put it here, and the left was like 84, and it also pulls the left the length of the canvas, like the way it calculates is if I drop it here, it calculates the length from here to the left screen, and then it's added from the canvas to the screen, so it's put to the left a little bit. All we need to do is just use that position to minus the canvas position. So instead of directly put left equal to no position left, I want to also use that to minus the canvas position. So it's going to be dot canvas the position the left. Okay, I want to get the left position of minus the left position of it. Let's try that. Yeah, it works right now. And it is able to drag from tools to the canvas right now. But see, the one on the canvas is not draggable. That one is not draggable. Like say in this file, in this example here, we can, after we drag to the canvas, we can still drag it. Like right now, it's not, because we're not seeing like this new item is draggable. So let's add a draggable for it. So this new DOM, I want to make it draggable. Right? Make this let's come on this console logout. Make this new DOM draggable. Let's try that. Drag it to a one here. Drag it again. Oops. Same like that. Every time when I drag it, just make a copy for me. That's because every time when I drop this tools on the canvas, it's calling this render function again. Like remember, like every time when drop, it's calling render function again, and it just renders a new one for me. So we don't want that. We only want to create a new one if I am drag these three items to the canvas, not this new item. Like when I drag this new item, it shouldn't create a new item for me. So let's adding if cases here. So before you render it, I want to say if the UI.helper has class tool. If the UI.helper has class tool, then we'll render it. Otherwise, don't render it for me. I only want to render it when the UI when it has a class equal to tool. Remember, the new item we created doesn't have any class here, right? Like I only want to drag it when it has a class equal to tool. I wouldn't want to render a new one. Otherwise, don't render it for me. Try it. It works. And if I just re-drag it again, it's not generating a new one for me. Right? Just two simple functions to make this project working. See, it's not render any new item for me. I drag it from the tools because this one have the class equal to tool, so it will render a new one for me. But if it just drags what's already on the camera, it doesn't really have that class, so it's not rendering a new one for me. Okay, so that's it for this project.